Hi, welcome to Pause Uni's For Students by Students podcast. I'm your host, Nola, and in this podcast we have student-led conversations about mental and emotional health. In this episode we're joined by Priya, a practitioner at Pause Uni, and Haleema, one of our volunteers, where we have a discussion about how to balance university work and personal life. This is really important because students can get really knuckled down with the university work and oftentimes forget their own personal life. On the other side, for some students, we can get so excited about university and our new environment that we forget about the university work and the reason why we are there. So, listen up, and I hope you get something really helpful.
Hello everyone, I am Priya and this is Haleema.
Hi, my name is Haleema. I'm a volunteer at Pause and I'm studying psychology and education.
Thank you for joining us today, Haleema. So we are going to discuss the importance of university and life balance today. You're in university yourself, you're a student. I'm sure you'll be able to share some experiences with us.
Yep.
As we all know that university is a really challenging time. We have academic demands, and then we also have this urge to socialize and do like extracurricular activities,
Yep.
which can all be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So as we know that just focusing on studies can lead to burnout, and then just prioritizing socializing will also compromise with the performance. So balance is really crucial. Yeah. I'm sure you do a lot of that, and we want to hear from you as well. So what do you think about planning ahead? Does it help? Have you ever planned ahead? Can we hear from you now?
Yes, so I would say I always have the intention to plan ahead.
Yeah.
I like to have a schedule, so I open up a Word document
Mhm.
and I write down tasks that I would like to achieve in a week.
Wow.
But sometimes I would say I struggle sticking with it, which can put more pressure on myself. Because then it's like if I didn't complete that the day before, then it gets added to the next section, and it's like
Absolutely.
it starts to build up. So when I'm unable to stick to it, I just have to remind myself to take a deep breath and step back from it, and then hit it. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is not yourself alone. We see a lot of students at Pause at Uni, and this is a very common occurrence that they have a schedule, but they have not stuck to it, which is fine. I think that making a schedule and keeping it really simple is important.
Yes.
So not putting a lot of things on the schedule and not really having unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
So what I usually tell students is that it might be a good idea to separate your chores throughout the week. So assign different days for different tasks. Like if you are doing groceries on Monday, maybe cook on Tuesday. Or if you're doing laundry or cleaning on Wednesday. I mean, like, you don't want to be stuck doing all chores in one single day.
Yeah.
So planning the week can help. And like you said, you have like a reminder or something you said? What do you do? Like a Word document,
Yeah,
you
Word
said.
document, yeah.
So sometimes you can actually use daily and weekly planners, and it could be on paper or on the phone.
Yes.
You can also do a to-do list if the schedule is really daunting. You can have a to-do list, like write down just the important things you need to be done that day and choose the really important one and start with that. Sometimes just starting small is a great way.
I agree.
So I totally think that planning ahead, it makes life easier for students for sure. When you are scheduling your week or day, do you have a separate assigned time for studying?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I go into university, I like to set that aside. Like I like to give myself go to the library or to a quiet building or with my friend to talk about assignments or whatever it might be. And then when I get home, I'd say I don't really work as much, but because I just associate while studying with university.
Yeah.
Then when I get back home, I like to take that time for myself. But everyone works differently. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no one size fits all. And I'm glad that you've managed to separate your work and life.
Yeah.
And that's what we're discussing today, how to strike that study and life balance in university, because it can be really, daunting.
Yes.
And then I think having realistic goals is really important here. So even if you have, like you yourself, having study time separately in university, finishing your studies in the library and then getting home.
Yeah.
Some people might want to not stay in the library, go back home, relax a little bit, do something fun, and then get back to study. So whatever works. But in both these situations, I feel having a realistic goal is really important. So focusing on what is achievable, maintaining your well-being as well as productivity,
Yeah.
and then taking breaks and actually breaking down a huge task into manageable small chunks. And then, like I mentioned before, start with the most important demanding task. Yeah?
Yep.
Right. Do you keep aside any time for well-being, like self-care stuff? What do you do? What are your hobbies? What do you like doing in your free time?
I like to cook with
Ooh,
my
sounds
family.
amazing.
Yeah. I also like I like to play sports.
Yeah.
Like with my cousins.
Very
and
good.
that. And
What sports do you play?
cricket,
Wow.
football.
Okay.
You know. But I'd say, for example, as I mentioned earlier, when I get back home,
Mm-hmm.
I'd use that time to eat and then chill with family and
Yeah.
then just wind down by watching a show. I like to just end the day off like that.
Sounds like a perfect plan for me.
Yeah.
So when we say make a schedule or do a do-do list, definitely have some spare time for self-care and well-being like you do.
Yeah.
And it could be anything from a morning stretch if they want to do it early on in the day, or meditation, journaling, cooking. You already do cooking, which is also a very handy skill to have in university.
Yeah.
And then, gardening, taking a walk, doing skincare routine if you want.
Mhm.
So these activities do rejuvenate your body and mind. And some people, you'll be surprised when I ask them, what do you do in your free time? They'll say, I don't have any free time. So that is not really a good answer.
Yeah.
Please make sure that you have free time at least to do 15 to 30 minutes of like doing something that you like. Just to re-energize yourself. Are you involved in any kind of extracurriculars in campus, in the university that you study?
I would say no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're doing your master's now, isn't it?
I'm doing my master's, yeah. So I work as a research assistant.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which I love to do. That's what I have a lot of passion for. So
Okay.
other than that,
Okay, so when you were doing your graduation, were you a member of any societies and clubs, or like, how would you chill out? Were you, and it's absolutely fine if you weren't, because not everybody likes to go to these societies.
I'd say the timings didn't really work well with me because I lived a distance. I'd have to travel back home.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
otherwise, I did go to what's it called? ISOC.
Okay.
Friday prayers. I used to really enjoy doing
brilliant.
that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'd go to some of their events, but like I said, the timings wouldn't really work out.
Whatever works for you, So there's more to university life beyond textbooks and lectures, and we want to let our listeners know that they can engage in clubs, societies, sports, even volunteering. It's really satisfying to align with their interests, and that helps them to connect with people and provide a well-deserved break from your studies. And at Pause Uni, we also do like creative engagement workshops on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if they want to grab like an hour off from their studies and join us, they are more than welcome here.
Nice.
Right. How did you socialize when you were doing your graduation? Lots of socializing, in moderation, not at all. How did it go for you?
My undergrad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say lots of socializing because I had our cohort was like a classroom size, maybe a bit more actually, but we I think we all formed groups and I had a good number of people within that group, and
brilliant.
Yeah, we met up a lot every day. again, talk through assignments and just chill together, which is really nice. And I think having a network of friends really does it molds your experience of uni. So I had a really great undergrad experience because of the friends I met here, and I still talk to them today, despite going off now doing my masters. I'm still in touch with them because I think relationships are really important.
Absolutely. And that sounds so nice because, we have a lot of international students who definitely have loneliness and stress. And sometimes they can't socialize or they can't find their group, which can be quite difficult. And again, on the other side of the spectrum, there are people who socialize so much that their studies take a hit. So we would like to encourage socializing, but definitely in moderation. Not go to any events that you're invited to. Please go ahead, but be mindful that it doesn't distract you from your studies. Again, depends on your work commitments, your deadlines, your assessments. So socializing is really important, but not at the cost of obviously your academic studies. And not socializing at all is again really, really not good at all for your well-being. Okay, so like you were saying, human connections, that's so important, isn't it?
Yes.
And you are a home student, so you have family and friends here. Did you have any international students as friends who were not able to meet their loved ones so often? Did you have?
Yes, I did,
How would they manage?
I would say they studying, I think they mainly did in their accommodation. They didn't really do it as much on campus. But I always tried to make an effort. For example, one of my friends, when it was Chinese New Year, we went out and we had a meal together.
That's nice.
That was intentional because, of course, I know her family is, of course, in China, and so she didn't have that circle to do it with here. So I made the effort to do that.
Great. You're supporting each other, even though, and then, they can be in touch virtually through video calls, which I think is really important if you can see the face that you speak with. And then just touching base really with home, wherever home is in the world. Human connections add a huge, huge part to our well-being. So just to keep that in mind. You did mention that you play sports. So fitness, as you know, is really important to keep our stress levels low and to maintain a healthy, and good for our well-being as well. So you said cricket?
Yes.
Football? Oh, well done you. Or there are lots of people who go to the gym. However, gym membership can be expensive. That should not stop you from going for a run or like meeting a group of friends and maybe doing yoga together or like put on music and dance, Zumba, anything that moves your body to reduce the stress and anxiety. As you know that exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood enhancers. So don't underestimate a walk or a run or a jog. And definitely you can play any sports like swim or join defense classes if you want. And there's a fabulous gym and I think lots of sport opportunities at the university campus here as well. Do you have anything else to add?
So I'd say I walk from my house to the train station. It's a 20-minute walk, which
Brilliant.
I think initially I looked at that and I was like, oh my gosh. But when I started doing it and then I realized that this is actually beneficial, like you mentioned with the endorphins, there's a lot of pros to walking, especially in the morning at that time. And also I like to see the sun rise, so I'd like to leave early and then walk and then watch it.
Absolutely. And sometimes people don't have an allocated time for walking. What I usually tell them is get off the bus one stop ahead of university maybe. It's just one stop, but that 10-15 minutes is really going to make a difference to you. So while going home also, if you can get off one stop earlier, or if you can walk it home, if it's like a walkable distance, then definitely I think walking really helps. But as we all know that our schedules keep changing every week.
Yes.
So to reflect and adjust on our schedule is really important. So that you can manage your time well and maintain a balance. And some weeks can be really hard with lots of assignments. So of course, you're not getting too much time for self-care, which is absolutely fine. But then you need to have that balance whenever, you can afford to have that time.
Yeah.
So, so in conclusion, what can we say? We can just say that university life can be really tough because you are mastering an art of work and life balance, and which I think is a really good skill to have going forward. Even when you leave university, if you start working, you have demanding careers, do try to have a well-balanced work life, life, so that it doesn't come in the way of your mental health and well-being. And yes, it's not really about doing everything in university. It's all about doing the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming in today and sharing your experiences with us, Haleema. Any last words you have for the listeners?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was nice to talk to you, Priya.
And you're always welcome. Thank you. And that's all for today's session then.
What a great episode. Hey, I think that was so good that maybe you even need to go and listen to it again to see if you can get any other tips. Now, if listening to that conversation triggered you in any way, shape or form, then I suggest you go and speak with your university wellbeing officers. If you need further support, then perhaps you want to get in touch with Samaritans or Papyrus or any other national intervention service. I'm sure that they will be happy to help you. Thank you so much for listening and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks.